You stand at the edge of a dense forest clearing watching a 400-pound wild boar root through fallen leaves. Your hands hold no spear, no polished flint dagger, and no bow yet. Within seconds, this thrashing powerhouse of muscle and razor-sharp tusk will be suspended harmlessly in midair, completely immobilized without a single drop of spilled blood for hundreds of thousands of years. Popular imagination painted early humans as reckless hunters who threw themselves into bloody hand-to-hand combat with Pleistocene megafauna. We envision spears plunging into flesh, desperate screams, and crimson-stained snow, but in the harsh arithmetic of prehistoric survival, direct combat was an evolutionary failure and open wound meant blood loss. Spoiled meat ruined waterproof pelts, and a violent struggle that could easily break a hunter's bones. True mastery of the ancient wild was not measured by brute force, it was measured by kinetic energy, tension, mechanics, and psychological deception. Prehistoric humans turned the landscape itself into an invisible living machine engineered to capture the deadliest beasts alive. How did ancient engineers construct mechanical traps without metal screws or pulleys? The secret began with plant fiber biomechanics and the early mastery of cordage. Long before the invention of the wheel, Mesolithic and Paleolithic hunters harvested tree, bast, the tough inner bark of linden, elm and willow trees alongside wild nettle fibers and twisted animal sinew. By reverse twisting these fibers into multiply ropes, early humans produced tensile cordage, capable of withstanding thousands of pounds of explosive dynamic force without snapping. This cordage formed the backbone of the ancient spring pole snare, one of the most sophisticated energy storage systems in human prehistory. Hunters selected a young, resilient sapling and bent it toward the earth under immense tension, essentially loading it like a colossal wooden spring. The bent tree was anchored using a delicate friction trigger, the ancient precursor to the modern figure 4 trap mechanism. Two notched pieces of dry antler or hardwood held the tension in precarious balance. A wide noose of woven bast rope was laid flat across an animal trail, lightly dusted with dry leaves and natural soil. When a passing beast stepped into the loop, its foot tripped the sensitive wooden release lever in less than a fraction of a second. The stored mechanical potential energy in the bent tree unloaded the noose, whipped shut around the animal's limb, hoisting it upward into the air. The beast was left suspended and thrashing safely off the ground, unable to gain leverage to charge, bite, or injure itself on rocks. Yet individual snares were only the beginning when hunting herd animals or massive megafauna. Prehistoric tribes engineered massive landscape-scale containment systems, known as drive funnels and corral traps, across the Levant, Central Asia, and the Arctic tundras. Archaeologists have unearthed massive prehistoric structures known as desert kites. These consisted of continuous low stone walls stretching for kilometers in a wide V-shape, narrowing down into an invisible bottleneck that emptied into a deep, hidden subterranean enclosure. Hunters did not chase the animals with weapons. Instead, they manipulated animal psychology using flags, smoke, and coordinated shouting to guide whole herds down the funnel. The animals calmly followed the narrowing walls, believing they were escaping danger, only to step off a blind ridge into an enclosed, softer-than-sunken corral. Because the walls of the pit were dug steep and devoid of lethal spikes or stones, massive wild ungulates, reindeer, and gazelles were contained completely alive and uninjured. Why went through the immense labor of capturing beasts alive, rather than killing them on the spot? The answer lies in the harsh realities of prehistoric resource management. In a world without refrigeration, a dead animal was a ticking biological clock. Bacteria began multiplying immediately, and the scent of rotting meat attracted apex nocturnal carnivores like cave hyenas and saber-toothed cats from miles away. A live, uninjured animal held in a corral or restrained in a non-lethal trap was living meat that remained perfectly preserved until the tribe was ready to process it. Furthermore, intact pelts were vital for prehistoric Arctic clothing, watercraft, and all-weather shelter. A punctured or blood-soaked hide lost its natural waterproofing and thermal insulation by capturing beasts cleanly without blood loss. Ancient humans preserved the pristine structural integrity of skin's sinews. And intact bones capturing beasts alive was the technological bridge that transformed humanity from opportunistic predators into architects of their ecosystem. It demanded profound biological observation, an intuitive grasp of physics, and deep psychological understanding of animal behavior. Long before we forged iron or wrote history, early humans proved that the deadliest weapon in the Pleistocene wilderness was not the sharpest spear, but the human mind bending the laws of nature to its will.